Okay, let's dive right in. If you feel like you're just winging it when it comes to building your photography business, this is for you. We're going to give you a complete flight plan, a powerful metaphor to engineer your entire operation for success. So picture this. Your business is an airplane. It's got 6 critical parts, and for that plane to fly smoothly, every single one of those parts needs to be designed correctly and grow in sync with all the others. The goal here is to professionalize your operation, to move from being a freelancer to a true business owner, and to avoid that plateau that grounds so many creative businesses. All right, let's start in the most important seat, the cockpit. This is your leadership, and your job here isn't just to fly the plane. It's to set the destination with crystal clear clarity and unite your whole team around that one compelling mission. Now, a powerful mission isn't some vague, fluffy statement like, we take great photos. No, it's a specific story that your brain just has to see through to the end. It needs 3 things. First, a few specific economic goals. Think, book 15 luxury portrait sessions with an average sale of $5,000. Second, you gotta have a hard deadline, like by the end of the third quarter. And third, and this is crucial, a why it all matters. That why, that's your purpose. It's what gets you through the late-night editing sessions. For a lawn service, it might be about giving a family a beautiful yard to come home to. For you as a luxury photographer, it might be because every person deserves a bespoke portrait experience that makes them feel like a star. Or maybe because a family's legacy is priceless and deserves to be preserved as true art. That's what turns a simple goal into a real mission. Now, this is where it gets really practical. Your culture breaks down into 2 parts. You've got key characteristics, that's all about who you and your team need to be to pull off the mission. And then you have critical actions. That's what you actually do, day in and day out. For a high-end studio, a characteristic could be, we provide an effortless white glove service. And a critical action? We send a handwritten thank you note with a small curated gift within 48 hours of every single session. See the difference? Okay, let's move on to the right engine, your marketing. This is what generates your initial thrust. If your message is confusing or all about you, your business is never going to get off the runway. The absolute key is to stop talking about yourself and start making the story all about your client. So how do you do that? Well, you use a proven framework. A fantastic one is called StoryBrand. And this isn't about being slick or manipulative. It's just about being clear. It uses a 7-part story formula that people are naturally drawn to, and it invites your ideal client into a narrative where they are the hero and your photography is the key to their success. So here's how that story goes. Your client is the hero. They have a problem, maybe they feel unseen, or they desperately want to capture a precious fleeting moment. You are not the hero. You are the guide, the expert who can help them. You give them a simple, clear plan, like Step 1, schedule a design consultation. Step 2, enjoy your guided photo shoot. Step 3, select your heirloom artwork. Then you call them to action, and you paint a clear picture of the success they'll have with you versus the failure of doing nothing. Now for the left engine, sales. When your marketing and sales engines are both firing on all cylinders, you get double the thrust. The goal of your sales process isn't to be pushy. It's simply to guide the hero of the story to a decision they feel great about. Let's just totally reframe the idea of sales. The second you truly see your client as the hero, your job changes completely. You stop trying to close a deal and you start helping them solve their problem. It's a small shift in mindset, but it makes the whole process feel more authentic, and honestly, it just works so much better. And this just shows how simple it can be. You can literally structure any sales conversation around this 5-part story. Start by identifying their problem. Position your package as the perfect solution. Give them a simple plan to move forward. Paint a vivid picture of what success will look like with your art on their walls, and then just give them a direct, easy way to book their session. The wings of the plane are what create lift. And in business, lift comes from your products and services. But here's the catch. If your offerings aren't optimized for both demand and profitability, they're not creating lift. They're creating drag, just weighing the whole plane down. So the first step is a ruthless audit. You need to look at every single package, every product you offer, and ask, which ones are highly profitable? Which ones are just okay? And which ones are actually losing you money? You have to have the courage to cut what's creating drag, even if it's something you enjoy shooting. If it's not profitable, it's hurting your business's ability to fly. And before you get excited and launch a new service, run it through a wind tunnel first. This is just a simple product brief where you ask the hard questions. Is there real demand for this? What do we project in sales? Will this confuse our current clients? You have to test your ideas before you invest your precious time and money. All right, let's talk about the body of the airplane, your operations and your overhead. You know, a sleek, fast plane is lean. It's streamlined. Your business operations need to be the exact same way to reduce weight and inefficiency, which for most of us really just means wasted time and chaotic workflows. There's a brilliant management concept that suggests you can streamline your entire operation with just 5 recurring meetings. This isn't about adding more meetings, it's about having the right ones. This playbook creates a rhythm, a pulse for your business that keeps everyone aligned and focused. And it cuts down on all those random check-ins that kill productivity. And finally, we have to talk about the fuel. This is your cash flow. You can build the most gorgeous, powerful airplane in the world, but if it runs out of fuel, it is going to crash. Period. Managing your money well isn't optional. And the system is actually surprisingly simple. You don't need to be an accountant or have complex spreadsheets. All you need is 5. Just 5 separate checking accounts to manage your money with complete clarity. And here they are. 1 account for your regular operating expenses. 1 to pay yourself a consistent salary, which is so important. A separate account where your profit accumulates. Another one just for setting aside tax money so no more surprises. And finally, an investment account to build your long-term wealth. This simple playbook makes it almost automatic. Now, here's the pro move. Create a safety net. For your key accounts, you set what's called a high watermark, which is basically a cap. Once the account balance hits that number, you skim any excess off into savings. This is how you build a reserve that gives you at least 6 months of runway, so you can fly through any turbulence without losing a wink of sleep. The cockpit, the engines, the wings, the body, and the fuel. You now have the complete flight plan. These are the 6 interconnected systems you absolutely need to build a photography business that doesn't just survive, but truly soars. The only question left is, are you ready to take off?